So just get comfortable and adjust yourself so that you can sit for a while. And I'm going to bring up my little bell. All right. Bringing your attention inward, connecting with your breath, and feel free to close your eyes, to close your lids halfway to a soft focus, or to keep your eyes open, whatever feels more comfortable to you. And take this moment to say hello to your body. Say hello to your nervous system. Say hello to your breath. And say hello to your mind. And notice your breath, how it connects you to your body, how it brings you in deeper. And feel yourself riding the breath into your body, into the sensations you feel. Take a moment to scan your body and see where you feel most alive. Perhaps you feel a tingling or a heat, or it just feels good. And if there's no such place, just find a place that feels most easy. And let yourself rest in this place. Do nothing. Change nothing. Just be. And invite in your observer or your spy consciousness that can observe. So on the one hand, you're feeling, you're sensing, and another part of you is watching. And you get to play with it. Do you want to lean into feeling and sensing more? Perhaps your breath feels particularly delicious right now. Let yourself lean into your breath. Feel your rib cage expand sideways as you breathe, making room for the breath. Notice how your shoulder blades glide down your back when your rib cage expands. Listen to the sound of the breath, like waves of the ocean. Feel your back puff out against the chair as you breathe, as you inhale. letting go of any managing and letting the breath just breathe you as it wants to. Feel your whole body being breathed. Every pore of your skin open, drinking in fresh, revitalizing energy. Releasing anything you'd like to let go of as you exhale. Feel yourself connecting to nature around you. As you breathe out, you're giving nature carbon dioxide. As you breathe in, you're breathing in its oxygen. Feel this connection, this ebb and flow, this partnership. Feel your basis, your butt bones, as if they have roots extending down into the earth. And you feel the support of the earth holding you solid. Feel your spine reaching up to the sky, lengthening, tall and regal. Opening up all your chakras, your energy centers, to receive, taking in the vital energy around you. And notice how when you come into your body more, your mind begins to still itself. It's pretty natural. And then I want you to imagine that we could bring in a DVD player. And we're going to have the movie of you on the DVD player. And you're both watching the movie, observing, but you're also in the movie, experiencing it, feeling it. So I want you to bring up a movie of you when you're caught in your default mode network, you're ruminating, you're worrying, or your ego's rampaging. Just think of a time recently with a little bit of humor. And just invite the scene to play. Press play. And just observe it and let it play. Let your mind go. And then I want you just to notice, how does it affect your body? How does your body respond to the mind going on its little tangent? How does it affect your mood? And then kind of sense into, is there any contraction in your body? And feel yourself sense into that. Give it a little space. Invite it to reveal itself. What's going on in your body? A little deeper. And bring a little kindness, a little compassion into that part of you that's off on its head trip. And then release the mind. Feel yourself drop into your belly, into your breath. Coming into full presence when your mind is where your body is. Bring your mind to where your body is. When we talk about embodiment, it's both mind and body. Not two, not one. It's a unified consciousness. And each aspect of our consciousness, our body, our energy body, and our mind are all doors. And the breath is the great connector of all. Connects the mind and the body and the energy body. So invite that connection where you feel all three. Let it find its own balance. And just rest in that beautiful, unified body, mind, and energy, the breath, like a silver thread weaving them together. And then when you're ready, just gradually start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your body a little. The body likes to move. You don't want to hold it too stiff. Imagine that kundalini like a snake inside your spine, just moving, undulating. Okay, so that's our first little short meditation. And I just wanted to check in to see what people noticed. Anything anyone wants to share? Any ahas, any awarenesses? You can turn your mute button off.
I noticed that it was so nice and relaxing and delicious to be in my body. And then when I went into the default mode, it stiffened and kind of almost like froze in a moment. And then the mood kind of went down as well. So yeah, definitely connection there.
Yeah, yeah. Happens pretty quickly too, doesn't it? Yeah.
I felt the very same thing. I felt more contracted. I felt so wide, and then I felt contracted, and I felt tightness in certain areas, and kind of victimy, you know?
Yeah. Victimized by your own mind, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. The mind really does do a number on us, can't it? Yeah. And we talked about how the mind has that negativity bias because it's trying to protect us, trying to keep alive. So it's always looking for, when something bad's going to happen. And boy, that gets old. And so when we can drop into that deeper consciousness, oh, what a relief.
I felt so deeply relaxed and free that when you said to go on, on the stage or whatever it was, the film, what was it that you said to go on the screen?
The
I
DVD.
couldn't even get there. I just felt like I'm so comfortable. I couldn't even use my brain to push me onto the screen to be watching myself on screen. I felt like I'm too comfortable.
Good for you, you know?
It
Taking
felt
care of yourself here.
great. I felt like I went into a deep state of utter relaxation and space.
Nice. Nice. Well, you know, up until now in Big Mind Bistro, Big Love rather, I really focused heavily on the relaxation part of it and the kind of grounding part. And I'm going to slightly push you a little bit more into deeper presence and how we can use our mind to go into even deeper presence, even places where we lose consciousness, where we don't even notice we do. And so in this next piece, what we're going to do is we're going to work with where the mind enters the body and how. And so, Karen, if you feel like, oh, I just can't go there, that's cool. But if you're open to letting me push you a little, that would be awesome. So, you know, as we talked about before, presence is the key to moving out of ego and the default mode network. Presence is our ground of being. It's our nucleus. And, you know, thoughts obscure it. And so it's like, well, you know, we got to think, right? We got to do things. We got to function. It's true. But can you maintain the hum in the background, put the ego hat on or the thinking hat, do your business, and then take it off? Or can you maintain that hum while you're present? And you know what the greatest, I think, tool for that is the little pause button. Just when you're in the middle of something, just pause and reconnect with your body. And then you kind of move on from there. And it's just a habit to get into. I tend to be kind of speedy sometimes. And so for me, learning how to pause is really important. Some people, David, you're much more of a pausey person than me. But I just like, and so I have to like pause. But at any point, also, even in a meditation, if you feel like you're drifting off, then what you can do is just open your eyes. It's like hitting the refresh button on a computer. You just refresh yourself. It's like, okay. And then you come back into your body because that breaks the neural pathway. That breaks the loop. Our brain is so much about neural pathways and patterns and habits. And any little thing we can do to just break it, pause it, and reset has a huge effect. And it's so simple. And a lot of the time what we do is we're in partial consciousness. We're doing one thing and we're thinking of something else. We're multitasking. And, you know, that can be really handy. You can get a lot of stuff done, but it also can diminish your level of presence. And in our world, with so many things kind of pulling at our attention, partial consciousness is a big one. I read about a book and it was called The Divided Mind. And I thought, boy, that's really relevant. So another word that I heard recently that kind of is my new favorite word is somatophobic. And that means that we are, and our culture is phobic of feeling in our body. That's pretty trippy, huh? But it's kind of true, right? Mind is king, man. You know, we want to think, we want a little distance. We don't want to feel. It's messy down here. You know, it's conflicted. It's, you know, tumultuous. And so just step back and we can watch, you know. And so what we're going to play with is what's the difference between observing and what's the difference between entering into your body, entering into your senses versus just observing them. And so this is that deeper layer that I'm talking about. And you know what's so interesting to me is when we come into full-on presence and we start by coming into our body more because it's more accessible and less of a crazy train, it actually creates more space. And then that space lets us wide open until we're into spacious awareness, which is in us, around us. It's, you know, the universe, right? And so it's like we go into our body so we can also widen beyond it and go into big mind, wide mind. So that's what we're going to play with. So I wondered if you would be willing to play with me on this. And when I'm going to ask you questions in this, so I'm going to do this meditation and I'm going to say, how does this feel in this? Or what do you notice when I say this? I don't want you to like cogitate on it. Don't think too much. Just hear it, kind of touch in, let it go and move on. So it's like I give you a little cue, but I don't want you to overthink it. Just kind of like touch in and move on because I'm going to give you a fair amount of cues. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So let's get comfortable. And the kind of purpose of this medication, there's a freaking Freudian slip. This meditation is to be more awake, to feel more connected, and to feel more embodied more of the time. All right. So you can get comfortable, put your mute button on, and feel yourself drop into your body. Engage your senses, just like Shari talked about. All your senses. Notice your skin, the texture of your skin, if you feel any air on your skin. Notice your musculature. How do your muscles feel at this moment? Your bones. You feel the force of gravity drawing you down. Let yourself be drawn down. Connecting with your breath. Feel the lightness of the breath moving through you, connecting your mind, your body, your awareness. Take your time to really land in this moment, right here, right now. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, just being. And how can you tell if you're really connecting to your body? Or are you connecting to a mental construct, an idea of what you think your body is? Or can you really feel your body? Use your breath to enter into your body, especially into any areas that aren't letting you in so much. Just softly, kindly. And notice, do you feel a distance like you're observing your body from the outside? Or are you feeling it from the inside? Not changing anything, not correcting anything. There's no wrong here. Just be as you are. Breathing. Being. slowing everything down. Can you do nothing and not drift off? Can you stay connected to your body? And just notice the tugs of the mind. Do this, don't do that. Am I doing it right? There's no wrong here. There's only reflection of yourself back to yourself. Making room for every part of you, every sensation. Bringing even more awareness to your body, a little deeper. And hearing this, what do you do? How do you bring awareness to your body? Notice if your mind comes in, prompting you to do it a certain way, telling you what you should be experiencing. Notice when your mind comes in, how that affects your connection to your body. Recognize this deeper felt sense, these sensations. Use your breath to enter into the sensation, creating a little space to get in there a little bit more and a little bit more. And now we're going to add a very slow, slight micro movement to awaken your awareness and sensation even more. So imagine that you could bring your awareness through both of your ears to the middle. And that is where your neck and your head meet. We think of it as a lot lower, but it's actually up there. It's C1, C2, axis, atlas. And so what I want you to do is to just make a very, very tiny, slight micro movement of nodding, going up and down. If that bothers your neck, you can do it side to side, or you can just imagine the energy of movement, but just keep that movement going. Just be aware of your head kind of nodding up and down. Very slowly. Use your breath to feel in to the movement. See what comes awake from this movement. What does it wake up? Very slowly. And just keep it going ever so slightly. And notice, does your mind want to kind of speed it up? Is it getting a little bored? And feel yourself entering the space of the movement itself. And now press the pause button and just receive the body's experience. Let the after feeling of that sensation wake you up. Let yourself use the sensation to enter into sensation deeper. And then bring it back even slighter, even smaller. And use the breath to enter the feeling of the sensation. And then very gradually cease the movement. Let your body be as it just wants to be. And drop into your awareness as it is without movement. Let go of any observer and feel the open space that you might have created inside your body. Enter into that open space. Let yourself melt into the open space. Feel your body as pure, wide, open space. Feel your mind as open space. Empty. Rest in the empty space. Feel yourself surrender to it. No efforting, no self. Just space and awareness of the space. Feel the space as awareness itself. Spacious, open, cognizant awareness, wise, compassionate, knowing. Infinite, boundless. Absolute acceptance. Pure love. Let yourself be held Be loved unconditionally by the consciousness that you are. Open every cell to drink it in. You are that. Just be. And very gradually begin to bring yourself back. I want to read a quote that Suze shared with me today by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Believe me, I'm not pronouncing it right. But it says, there is almost a sensual longing for communion with others who have a large vision. The immense fulfillment of the friendship between those engaged in furthering and expanding consciousness has a quality impossible to describe. Thank you, everybody, for participating, and I'm opening the floor to any comments and sharings. And I also know that a lot of times people are pretty, what would I say, relaxed. And so no pressure to share.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. I'm really excited to be here. I have to go. I have another meeting, but thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
It was very nice to share or meditate in a group,
Yeah.
even if we're not in the same room. There's just something powerful about sharing an experience with other people.
It's very true, isn't it? Yeah. Just feels bigger and fuller and richer somehow, to me anyway.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, feeding on what Margot said, it's sort of interesting because I felt a deepening in me, both when I went from transitioning more from sort of an observer presence to a deeper senses presence that was beyond the observer. But I also had this sense that somehow it was emanating out among us and sort of in the world. So I had that larger group, beyond group feeling that maybe, Margot was alluding to also.
Yeah. I mean, they've had all these studies of bringing in meditators into places where there's violence and how it reduces violence. The TM people have done that.
It almost feels like there's something connecting all of us, even though we're not touching each other, just some energy or little pieces of energy or something that's touching us.
Yeah. Yeah. David, do you remember that Rumi quote of "I'll meet you there"?
Yeah, beyond any notions of rightness or wrongness, there is a place, I'll meet you there. Yeah, so.
But it
we're
does
all
feel like when we go into
powerful.
that vibration, that it attunes us all to the same vibration, same energy.
It's beautiful.
I've had a really anxious mind lately.
Mhm.
And so this, having such a quiet, empty mind feels like priceless.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had this feeling as if I was in this, like a vessel within myself, but it had no doors, like it was all clear, but it was almost like a voyage within my body, of feeling myself from the inside out instead of the outside in a way that I haven't really experienced before, where it just felt like like such clarity, like there was such clarity and clearing, and that I wasn't my body, but I was inside of my body, but I didn't feel, like the ache of my shoulder or the, carrying my neck or whatever it was. I felt like such a piece of well-being. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so good. I feel like, can you come to my bed? Can you just do this at night for me during the day? I feel like I want to record it. It felt so good.
Yeah, yeah. And you're right about within the body and in the body, it isn't the physical body, it's, the awareness body, the light body, the, whatever you want to call it. They have different names. We have different names for it, but it's, it's feels not of this world. Bigger than this world.
It's just clarity. Like
Mm.
there's nothing, like you could go through the organs. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you're in the middle of everything. Everything
Ooh.
else was periphery. Like it was such a good feeling. Like, okay, I'm going to anchor that one. Thank
Let me
you,
know how you do it.
Jane.
You're welcome.
That was incredible.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. I wasn't sure with the questions, but it kind of pushes your edge of going further. It sounds
It's a
like you
good guide.
got it.
I don't
Awesome.
want to leave it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a good
I
question.
know.
So can you kind of like bring it into that background hum and just feel it as a vibration? I mean, I think ultimately like we're space, vibration, and light. And, any of those are a touchstone. And humming brings us into kind of a vibrational state and out of the ego. And so, humming, I like to just kind of connect into humming, or, that's why they ohm, I think, where that comes from. But maybe seeing when you leave here today, how long can I just keep that little hum going? Maybe we should end with an ohm. Should we do an ohm? All right.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right, you ready? Oh.
This is
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jane. It was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Much love to each and every one of you.
yeah.
Remember that hum. See you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.